Welcome to Two Sides of New York. I'm Cross along with my pal Reed. This week's episode we will be talking about winter meetings recap, and we'll be talking about week 15 action of the NFL. So getting right into it, the Phillies signed Andrew McCutchen for 3 years and $50 million, and the National League East is continuing to make moves.
Yes, indeed. They're looking stacked. Could be the best division in all of baseball. Although the AL East will be pretty well with the Rays adding Morton, which we'll get into later. But, 3 years, $50 million. What do you think of this deal?
I think they're not giving him so much, but I think that it's just showing that they're playing that they want to get a Harper or a Machado, and he would be a great piece, along with those players. He is getting older, McCutchen, but he is showing that he can still play. Definitely not the level that he used to, but it's a pretty good signing. But I'm not, if this is their last move, I don't think it's that good.
Yeah, no, that's not can't be their headline move of the offseason. Kutch, he's not the fielder he used to be. He used to be a great fielder, but he definitely can hit. I think his plate discipline is getting better as he ages. He was a great leadoff hitter for the Yankees. I thought maybe they'd bring him back, but obviously he probably wanted too much, and Gardner was a cheaper option along the prospects we have with Frazier. So I think that's why he didn't end up coming back to the Yankees, because he obviously loved it here. And, I don't know, it's not a bad signing. I think he'll help out. He's good for the clubhouse. He's got a great attitude. I love the way he carries himself, and I think it'll be good, but like you said, cannot be their last signing.
Yeah, but maybe that they're just trying to save money, because 1 year Trout's going to be a free agent, and we all know Trout grew up rooting for the Phillies. Maybe he'd like to play there someday.
Yeah, and next year's pitching is going to be a lot better in the free agent class. There's going to be Verlander, Sale, Cole Hamels, Porcello, I believe. So.
Yeah, but speaking of this year, I don't think the Phillies are done yet. Along with a lot of teams, I think there's still a lot of moves to be made this offseason.
Yeah, the past few seasons, the offseason has moved very slow. Instead of most of the players signing in late November, early December, it's more like mid-December, early January. And it could, especially last season was awful. It was just a slug of a offseason. So again, back on topic, the Yankees have brought back J.A. Happ for 2 years with an option for a third year. This deal is $34 million, $17 million a year. Hey, I like this signing. Like I said last episode, he would be the only pitcher they would go out and sign via free agency. I think he was really good for the Yankees. He was 7-0 for him last year. His one bad start just happened to be the playoffs, which worries you a little bit. But the Red Sox were just cranking in that series, but especially in that first game, they were squaring him up. But I think he can go out and dominate any lineup any day of the week.
You could speak for this, though, how you feel, because you're the Yankees fan. But I don't feel, if I were a Yankees fan, I would not feel confident in this rotation. They've added, yes, James Paxton is good, but he did tail off from his very hot start at the beginning of last season, and I'm not so confident that they have, because they're going to be in the playoffs again, and I'm not confident that pitching staff is good enough to get them through the playoff.
Yeah, you have to go in with the expectation that Sevy is going to finish stronger. People have lost a lot of faith in Sevy, but I still think he's one of the best young pitchers in the game of baseball. Tanaka, he can go out and be unhittable any day of the week. Who's three? Oh, yeah, Paxton. Tanaka's in 3. Paxton, he's a question mark, but he can either be really good or he can be injury prone. So I think it's about Paxton staying healthy. And, CC's gonna have some clunkers, but I think in his last season, last year he had a 3.39 ERA, his best since 2012. So, yeah, it's not the best rotation, but with the way that lineup is supposed to hit, I think they keep that bullpen strong, which was their strong point. I think they'll be all right. But yeah, it's not a Kluber or Bauer. But hey, let me just tell you this: if they do sign Machado, I wouldn't trade Andujar now, but next deadline, if the Indians, Giants are not contenders, I could definitely see the Yankees making a move for that ace that puts them over the top, kind of like the Astros did with Verlander in 2017.
Yeah, I feel like that's what they're gonna do around midseason as well. It'll just make that pitching staff much more dangerous, and it'll really, really help them a lot as they go deeper into the season.
Yeah. All right. So getting into the big trade, pretty much the only trade of the winter meetings. So the Indians sent Encarnacion to the Mariners, and Tampa Bay surprisingly sent their young stud Jake Bauers to Cleveland. The Mariners also sent Santana back to Cleveland, where he spent 1 year away from. So I don't expect Encarnacion to be in the Mariners system too long. I expect him to be traded pretty soon.
Yeah, the Mariners showed that they're clean and shop, and they're using Encarnacion as trade bait, like with the that's what the Athletics were trying to do last year by signing Lucroy, but then they ended up making a nice run into the playoffs. But yes, they're definitely using Encarnacion for trade bait, and Santana back in Cleveland, probably gonna be playing first base, gonna get a lot of playing times with the exit of Yonder Alonso with him going to the White Sox. So I think it's a good deal for both sides, and yeah, Santana, I think he's still a good player. He gets on base a lot, got a good eye, and he could still hit.
Yeah, definitely. And he spent, a week with Seattle, if that?
Yeah, not even, and then he's back at home, and I'm sure that's where he'd much rather be.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm sure he enjoyed Philly, but obviously it didn't work out for them because it was just a stupid move for Hoskins, because he just obviously never played left field in his career, and he had balls hitting him off the face.
Yeah.
And it might have affected his hitting a little bit, too.
Yeah, then Hoskins, he could hit. He's a hell of a hitter. As a Mets fan, we see a lot of him, and when he's up at the plate, I'm really like, oh, this guy is capable of doing damage every at-bat.
Oh, he's a stud. He's one of the more underrated young stars in the game. I'm not sure what the Rays were doing here, though. I don't know why you trade Bowers. He was really good. He was clutch. He was a Yankee killer in the games against us. I think he had the only walk-off home run against the Yankees this season.
Yeah, they didn't get anything back for him, really, but they did sign Charlie Morton for 2 years, and I think that's a really good signing for them because he could start and he could come out of the bullpen. I think using him as like having an opener and then giving it to him around the middle of the game, I think that would I think he'd do really well in that position, especially with the Rays.
Yeah, for sure. And he's having some players, they stick around long enough where they can just find that jolt that gets their career going, and I think that's what he is. He's going to get better as he ages. I think that's also like J.A. Happ. I think he's aged well. At least last season, he was pretty incredible, but Morton was incredible last season, especially obviously in the 2017 playoffs, and yeah, it's a great signing. I think the Rays are going to be pretty dangerous and could fight for second place. I think the Yankees or the Red Sox will get first, and I think one of them are going to get third, obviously. I don't know. The past, 3 of the last 4, or 2 of the 3, the only time the Red Sox made it back to the playoffs was 2008, but 2004 and 2013, they did not make the playoffs, so that's a little off topic. So what do you think of Familia back with the Mets?
I love it. Familia coming back with the Mets for 3 years, and I think it's a great signing. Familia, he never wanted to leave the Mets, and he's so happy to be back. He took less money and a setup role to come back with the Mets, and that's just showing that he's gonna just put everything out. He's putting his balls out on the table, and he's like, you know what, I want to win with this team. These are my guys. And
of course, he's not going to be the closer, so he's going to be the 8th, 7th inning guy.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot from him that he is nervous in those big ninth inning situations. But I think this new role, him as a setup man, is just going to be great. He's going to really flourish in it, I think. And I think he's ready to go. This bullpen is looking good. Maybe add one more left-handed piece and we'll be fine.
Yeah, no, he's great. I think Familia, I can compare him a lot to Dellin Betances. Really good setup man, as we saw last year with the A's. But in the ninth inning, it's not for him.
Yeah, he's got...
Just he crumbles under the pressure.
Yeah, he's got great velocity, great movement on his pitches, and he's much better suited for that eighth inning, seventh inning spot.
What do you think of the Ramos signing?
I love it. As Mets fans, we were like, we're going to have to give up Conforto or Nima or even worse, Syndergaard to get a catcher like real JT Realmuto. But we weren't thinking like, we got the Buffalo, Wilson Ramos right here. We didn't have to give up anything, so we get to keep all of our guys, and we get a good hitting catcher in Wilson Ramos. Over the last 3 years, he's definitely been one of the best hitting catchers in baseball.
Yeah, no problem staying healthy, that's all, though.
Yeah, little problem staying healthy, little problem blocking balls, but he has that great arm, and the Mets have never, really, since Paul LaDuca, have had a catcher that could throw guys out, trying to steal bases. So I think this is a great signing for the Mets. It's really going to help their lineup and defensively a bit too.
Yeah, for sure. The Mets are definitely making moves. You gotta credit Brody Ben Wagon finally doing something. I don't remember the Mets ever really making moves like this. Besides Cespedes, I can't really remember anything.
Yeah, besides like Cespedes and Granderson, usually the Wilpons are like, all right, we made our one move to make the fan base happy, and then that's it. And they're like, what do you want? We made our move. But now this year, I think Brody got to them and was like, hey, listen, we got to make some moves this year. That's how we're going to be able to compete, and that's what they're doing, and I love it. And I think there's more to come, be it a A.J. Pollock, maybe. I'd like to see that. Or crossing my fingers on this one, probably not going to happen, but maybe someone like Bryce Harper. But I think that's pretty far-fetched.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the Mets are going to pay him $350 million, but
I know probably not. But he's just a game changer,
yeah.
And I'd love to have him. I think he'd be great in New York. He just got that swag, and yeah.
He would strive in New York. Wherever he goes, I'm hearing a lot of rumors looking like that people think he's going to the Dodgers because they're looking to trade Kemper Puig, and if they're clearing up Puig. I mean, I don't know. Even though they've been trying to trade Puig the last couple off seasons.
So wait, are you sure the Yankees don't want him and try to play him at first base? Or is that a clown question, bro?
I think that's a clown question. You're not going to pay a guy $350 million to a position he hasn't played in the big league level. There's just no space for him. When the Yankees went out and got Stanton last year, that meant no Harper. I'm sorry. If you don't like that, oh well. But that's what it was. In the past few seasons, I mean, yeah, Harper is a great player. I mean, his WAR is probably a little bit higher, but I don't know. I don't think Stanton and him have been pretty not far apart. I mean, Harper might be a little more clutch, but I don't know. Stanton, he's hit some big home runs, big walk-offs. Harper went down swinging against the Cubs in Game 5 of the NLDS, because they've never made the CS because it chokes. But do you think there's any chance he goes back to the Nats, though? I know we've said this.
Probably not, because they're giving Patrick Corbin a lot of money, and I don't know if they could give three big with Scherzer. I don't know if they're able to afford him anymore. I'm sure they'd love to give him an offer, but I don't think. I'm sure they'll meet again, but I'm sure there's not really a chance that he'll be back in Washington.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. So let's go into this four-eye bastard, Joe Kelly, Tyler Clippard wannabe. So Joe Kelly, thank God I don't have to see his face next season or the next two. But, oh shoot, we're playing the West next year, so I will have to see him. So he's a 3-year deal. I think it was $25 million with the Dodgers. I mean, he's a really clutch pitcher. Well, if you look at his numbers, they really aren't that good. He was honestly lucky to make that postseason roster.
Yeah, he was lucky, but you know what he was? In the playoffs, he was gutsy.
That's what I said. It was a good move.
He was coming in, getting outs, and he seemed fearless out there. He's going to be great at that setup role behind Kenley Jansen. Kenley Jansen kind of fell off a bit last year.
Yeah, I think the Astros in 2017, I think they dented his armor a bit. We all know Kenley had some problems with his heart, so I think that had something to do with it as well.
Yeah, but Joe Kelly's definitely a great signing. Definitely immediately makes that bullpen better, and he's fearless out there, and maybe he'll get into a couple brawls with the Rockies.
Hey, we're going. I mean, with the Rockies, why? Does he have beef with anyone on the Rockies?
I mean, they're rivals. They're division rivals.
That's true. That's true. I would say more the Giants, though. That's their Yankee Red Sox. So
yeah, but the Giants, unless they get Harper, which is not going to happen, they're going to be no good for a while.
Yeah, a few years at least. I don't know why they're trying to keep adding. They just refuse to rebuild. Like, some teams don't rebuild, but even the Yankees back in 2016, it went by quick. It felt like a month they were good again.
Yeah, because of course with the Yankees' luck, all of their top prospects panned out to be all-stars, which for any other team would never happen. So
yeah, now I get lucky with prospects. That's why I'm just like, I don't know, Florial, the hype around this kid. I know he's not going to be here till 2020, but I don't know. They said he's got like that 5-tool. Kind of reminds me, sounds like Mookie Betts. I don't know if you trade him. Sounds like they don't want to trade him. But that's a year away. I don't know. We'll see. But, so, yeah, prospects. So, I came across a stat the other day. You know that when the Indian side, Nick Swisher, the Yankees got a pick. And you know who that pick was? Aaron Judge.
Yep, Aaron Judge.
Yep, but I don't know. This prospect hugging, sometimes it doesn't work out, sometimes it does. But the Tigers offered David Price for 2 prospects in the Yankee system, which were Aaron Judge and Luis Severino. So,
I know he's only 19 years old, but I'm really scared that Jared Kelenic is going to be really good. They're definitely like one of the best hitters out of college. I mean, out of high school that a lot of people have seen. That's what a lot of people are saying about him, and I'm kind of nervous that he's going to become a superstar with the Mariners.
Kelenic, but wasn't he? I thought he was a pitcher.
Oh no, he's an outfielder.
Oh,
yeah. He could hit. I'm nervous.
Yeah, you guys got Dominic Smith.
Give me a break.
Oh shit! No, not my bad. I meant Alonso, not Smith.
Peter, yeah,
my fault.
I think Alonso is going to be the first Mets prospect to pan. Nimmo and Conforto, they're showing that they could pan out.
Yeah, they're not prospects anymore.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like right away. I think Alonso is gonna come out swinging, and I think he's gonna be a really good player.
Yeah, no, I'd say McNeil, super utility guy, because you got Todd clogging up.
He's 26 years old though, and very injury prone. McNeil.
Was he a rookie last year?
Yeah, this was his first year. He spent 6 years in the minor leagues.
Yeah, see, it's kind of like Luke Voigt had to work his way up.
Yeah, and Luke Voigt, do you think he's a part of the plan for you guys this year?
For sure, yes. He's not getting traded. They're gonna him and Bird will battle in spring training. I mean, you never know if Bird will do something, but most likely Voigt will hit like 400 with like 8 bombs, and Bird will hit like 088 with like a single.
There's only 2 of the Yankees I like, and I think you know who they are, and it's
Greg Bird and Didi.
Greg Bird and Didi. I think Greg Bird has something in him. I think he's gonna have a great year this year. I think he's gonna show. He's like, you know what? I'm pissed off. These guys, they don't trust me. I'm gonna come out swinging, and I think he's gonna have himself a pretty good year.
Yeah, well, he should be pissed off, but I mean, honestly, he doesn't have anyone to blame but himself, really.
Himself, yeah, of course.
But I've said in the past, I've always been a believer in Greg Bird, but when he comes out and says, "Oh, I'm going to get 5,000 to 7,000 more chances," I mean, how do you not expect them to go out and get some guy when you say something like that?
Yeah, that was dumb by him saying that. He's also had a couple of he's also had the injury bug, a couple of them being unlucky.
Every year it feels like.
I do hope to see him have a good year.
I feel bad for the guy, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And the Astros, close to a deal? Is it done? Or I think it's just pending physical?
I just heard close, but it's going to get done. That's a big move for them. Probably going to be their new Marwin Gonzalez. Or is there a spot for him in the outfield?
Oh, yes. With Marlon Gonzalez, he's going to be playing left field. with Marlon Gonzalez probably leaving or going to sign somewhere else. Yeah, that's it's their lineup like has no holes in it.
Yeah, they have everything. They got power, contact. They're a scary lineup, but we'll see. They got to get someone pitching. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they brought Keuchel back. I know they're not really interested in that, but what, Morton signing somewhere else?
Yeah, that they might need to, but even if they don't, that lineup could definitely do damage for them, and they could ride them to a long playoff push.
Yep. So, Manny week. Manny meets with the White Sox today, the Yankees on Wednesday, and the Phillies on Thursday. I'm not one Yankee fan to be like, oh, we have to get him or else it's over, but I mean, with Didi being out till August, this is huge. You gotta find a way to get Manny. I mean, he definitely, from what we've heard, he wants to be a Yankee. His nephew said that he wanted him to go to the Yankees, so we'll see. I mean, he'd be huge. I think he definitely would put that offense in the best offense in the league by far.
Yeah, I definitely see him in the Yankees pinstripes, not the Phillies or the White Sox pinstripes. He just seems like he'd be a great part of the evil empire with his evil comments and his trying to take out first baseman and
well, he kind of put the evil because I don't know. I can't really think of any evil Yankees. I mean,
you're right.
Chapman maybe, but he just looks evil. He's actually not that evil of a guy. If you follow him on Instagram, the man wears such tight pants. I don't even know.
Be honest, you think at any point, if the Yankees do get Machado, at any point, you think Judge will be like, oh come on, man, you got to run that out, and then Machado just be like, hey, yo, F you, man, fuck you, you don't tell me what to do, who the fuck are you?
No, I don't think so. Him and Judge have been pretty cool before. I mean, Judge said put him in pinstripes last spring. I can't see any problems with him and Judge. I mean, maybe behind the scene he'd say something, but I don't think Judge is the type of guy, like, if it's really bothersome, but I don't think he's the type of guy to change someone. I could see him and Mike Carlo maybe saying that, because I could see Giancarlo saying something more than Judge, because I don't know, I feel like Judge wouldn't get into a confrontation with a teammate like that.
Yeah, that would be a good fight too. Both pretty big guys, of course. Stan a little bit bigger.
Yeah,
but that'd be a fun fight to watch. You think? Yeah, but I think Manny. I think he's gonna clean that stuff up this year.
Yeah,
no matter where.
I think all of that stuff is kind of. I think it's kind of BS, to be honest with you. I don't think it's that bad. I mean, in the 90s, would anyone have said anything about those slides in the playoffs?
Oh, of course not. Even the Aguilar play, people would be like, all right, that's just part of the game.
Exactly. Like, Albert Bell literally trucked the guy going to second in the 90s.
Yeah, and that was fine. And there was no suspension or anything with that. So, yeah, I think, and especially with the playoffs, he was in the World Series. Maybe, he got a little bit too much of a big head, and he just felt like, I can say whatever I want. But he is kind of young, and he really never was played in a big market. Of course, being in Baltimore his whole career, so I think he'll clean up his act a bit.
Yeah, I mean, even with the little things, the guy's an incredible player. Incredible. And seeing him hit live is insane. I was at a Yankee game in 2017. And CeCe just laid one over, and he hit the farthest home run I've ever seen hit in Yankee Stadium. Like, even on TV, and I was there at the game. He went on top of the Mohegan Sun Sports Bar. And Machado's not that big of a guy, really. So,
yeah,
is he 6'3" or 6'1" or 6"?
I think he's like 6'3", but he's pretty skinny.
Okay, so he is pretty big, but I don't know. I don't think he's that bad of a guy either. Like, I mean, when he hit that home run and the kid caught it, he went and met the kid after the game and all, and was like, "Oh, nice job." So I think Machado, I think he's a little bit misunderstood. Like Steve Pearce, even after he spiked him, he said that Machado was the best teammate he ever had.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Machado, back to his playing. Of course, I think he's got one of the smoothest swings for a right-handed hitter, and of course, he can play anywhere on the infield and with A+ fielding. The guy just goes and gets the ball. Really good fielder.
He's a much better third baseman than a shortstop, though.
You think so?
Yeah, he won the Platinum Glove at third. That's the best position, or the best position player in the league.
Yeah, he could still definitely get it anywhere though.
I think he's an incredible shortstop, but I think defensively, I would take Didi at short over Machado. Even though I think I don't know. I just think Didi's more smooth. Obviously, we're not going to see Didi till optimistically June, but probably July, August. But I just... Yeah, you can say the Yankees won 100 games without Machado, but they won 100 games with Didi, and they're going to be without Didi for at least half the season, so... If it's not Machado, you definitely got to go out. I heard Freddie Galvis. That's not going to fill in Didi, though. Like...
Did you see that video with Didi when he said that when he was playing in the... when he got into the infield after that slide where he hurt his elbow, where he was in the infield, he was like, "Oh, my elbow's done. I can't throw."
Yeah, well, it was in the playoffs when that happened. It was in the playoffs, right? Well, because he hurt it. I don't know if it was a separate injury. I think it was, but he hurt it on that slide, and then he was out to like the second to last game. And then I think he was fielding, and he threw one in Boston, and it was just like a routine ball, and he bounced it the first. And he literally just goes in the dugout and was just like, "Yo, my arm just went." And he played through it the rest of the series. This was like game one.
Yeah, I don't know how you could play through, especially at a shortstop, not be able to throw the ball. It's pretty tough.
Yeah, no, so the grit that Didi showed, I don't know. I think they should extend him. I think that now's the perfect time to do it.
Or you could trade him to the Mets.
No, Didi.
Okay, so you wouldn't do Didi for Zach Wheeler.
No. What?
Why?
What has Zach Wheeler done?
Zach Wheeler had a great year last year. Are you kidding me?
Okay, but Didi has had a great last 3 years for the Yankees. You have to respect what Didi means to the team.
Okay, just saying you get Machado, you wouldn't do that.
No, because Machado is better at third than Andujar, and Didi, I don't know, shortstop third. I mean, Andujar is good, but I just think Didi... I put Andujar at DH, but I don't know. Yeah. I just think Didi's too valuable. He's too valuable in the clubhouse. His teammates love him. The fan base, he lights them up. I just think he's a player. I think him and Judge will always wear pinstripes. I can't see them going anywhere.
That's far-fetched for a Mets fan. The Yankees would never do that. I just like Didi a lot, and one of the few Yankees I've ever liked, and I'd love to see him play for the Mets one day.
So, off with Ahmed and with Didi?
No, I mean, Ahmed could play third base. I think Ahmed...
I think Todd's got that locked up.
Oof. Why is that guy still on my baseball team? I don't understand.
Dude, what happened after that 11-1 start? You were like, "Yo, Todd Frazier is my MVP."
I'll admit it. I thought he was. I was like, great. I was like, oh, they're doing salt and pepper. They're gonna be. We're a great team. But then the injury bug hit him. When he played, he did hit some home runs, but like that was about it. And I was just like, what is this guy doing? But
well, at least you guys got rid of Jay Bruce.
Well, yeah, and hopefully McNeil sees a lot of playing time at third base or left field or second base or shortstop, wherever.
All right. Well, so that's going to wrap up the winter meetings today. There's only one winter meeting, so that's the winter meetings. It was pretty boring, but not as boring as last year because the only thing that happened last year was Giancarlo Stanton being in a Yankee uniform. I don't think there was any other signings. And I'm pretty sure that happened like right before the meetings even started.
The winter meetings is like weird, like because like it just I don't know. It just seems weird. Like I guess it's just like a tradition at this point.
I think it's kind of cool. I don't know.
Yeah, it is cool, but like it's kind of like it gets a lot of hype, but then usually nothing really happens.
Exactly. Like they're just like, oh, we expect some big cash moves. Like we expect some big signings at the winter meetings.
Here's what it is. It's just a bunch of old white guys trying to get away from their family and say they're having baseball related meetings.
Dude, Scott Boras, man, he's this.
Oh, he's a tool.
He's such a tool. He's like, I don't know. So moving on, that was the winter meetings. So next week, I'm sure, hopefully, I'll be here on Monday, jumping up and down, ordering my Machado 13 shirt. But moving on to the NFL.
Oh, so wait,
what would you say?
You'd give him A-Rod's number?
Hell yeah, A-Rod. He was coming over to A-Rod's house when he was 16 years old. Come on, tell me he does not have the same shit as A-Rod. He's.
Oh no, I'm just saying. You don't think that number will ever be retired?
Nah, I don't think so.
because of the steroids or
Not the
or
steroids. I just maybe yeah. I guess that probably tainted his career a little bit. But I mean, people were. I saw someone was like, "I hope the Yankees sign." It was a Sox fan. He was like, "I hope the Yankees sign Machado because then he'll be a cancer and destroy the team like A-Rod did." I was just like, A-Rod did not destroy the team. I mean, yeah, the last few years were bad, but the first 10 years of that or 6 years of that contract, I think that worked out well. They just didn't get the job done, except for 2009. But he had 54 home runs in 07.
Yeah, and if you win a World Series, I don't know how you could say you're a cancer.
Yeah,
and especially at the end of his career, he seemed like he kind of like relaxed and was like, "All right, I got to be a leader for these younger guys." And I think A-Rod's a great person.
I do too. I think that suspension really changed him as man. I think it really humbled him, and he really realized how lucky he was to do what he did in his career.
Yeah, he had a great career, and he didn't need those steroids. I'd say
No.
Bonds didn't need the steroids. Anybody who took them didn't really need them. Baseball is such a hard sport. Like, yeah, if you take steroids, they'll make you stronger, but they can't like put the bat on the ball. That's all
Exactly.
you.
He doesn't put the barrel to the ball. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
Yeah.
think players are just so, like A-Rod said, he was so stupid, and he said it perfectly. So I like how he admits to how bad of a mistake it was, but I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be another. I mean, he retired 2016, so it's gonna be quicker than you think. 2022, I think, is when he'd be eligible.
Yeah.
All right, so that'll wrap up winter meetings. So we're gonna move on to the NFL. So week 15, Giants and Titans. I was expecting a little more, but it was Saquon Barkley's first bad game in the NFL. Offensive line didn't help him out. My boy Eli was just off. He hates the rain, so it didn't surprise me. But he was just missing passes left and right, taking sacks, which it obviously isn't his fault. I don't know, probably puts him back into contention for Haskins for a draft pick, but I don't know, pretty bad game, got shut out. No one really played well, like no one made tackles, no one played well on offense. There's guys dropping passes, Eli was missing, Saquon was getting nothing. So I think that kind of pushes away all that talk was like, oh, the Giants are fine without Odell. No, they're not. They need him.
No, they definitely need Odell. But back to Eli playing in the rain. Has Eli ever won a game in the rain? Because going back, thinking about it, remember that first game ever in the Meadowlands, the first regular season game in the new MetLife Stadium? I mean, he threw that left-handed pass that got for an interception. That was in the rain, too. Eli just seems not to like rain games at all.
Yeah, well, the NFC Championship in 2012, I think like a lot of that was in the rain.
Or was that snow? 2012.
Yeah, 2012 was in San Francisco. Well, I think that was honestly, I think that was Eli's best game of his career. Like, I know the Super Bowls were pretty incredible, but Eli was just getting freaking nailed, hit left and right in that game, and he just came in the clutch. Playing in San Francisco against a 13-3 team. Cruz was going off in that game. That was a great memory. I remember being a nervous wreck during that game. I was so nervous, and I couldn't even watch. I just had to like listen. And once I saw Williams hit off his leg, I just remember being so happy. I was like Steve Weatherford. Do you remember Steve Weatherford's reaction when they got the kick?
Yeah, he was going nuts.
Man, I love Steve Weatherford. I think he was the most ripped guy in the NFL when he was in the league.
As a punter. A lot of those punters are jacked, especially, you see these college punters?
Yeah, no, hopefully it's a new wave of punters. Although the punters have been pretty good, it's just the kicking has just really gone downhill. Which I think the Giants got themselves a new, really good kicker. Rojas he's good.
I saw this video though. It really the percentage this year. I know it seems like there's a lot of missed kicks, but the percentage is up from last year by I think point. It's by just like decimals, but like it's been up this year surprisingly.
Yeah. So yeah, but I mean, at game on the line, I want Boswell kicking. Let me start.
Yeah.
He redeemed himself. We'll get back into the Patriots Steelers in a little bit. So how about your Jets and Texans?
But no, wrapping up with the Giants real quick.
All right.
So, do you want to see Eli back next year?
I mean, I love Eli, but it's time to move on. I mean, unless we're going to be rebuilding again next year, if they don't think the offensive line is good enough, I guess Eli's kind of like the punching bag. If they don't think they're going to compete next year, maybe you stick with him because you said the quarterback class of the 2020 draft will be better. But
yeah, it's not the greatest, and as the draft comes closer, we'll definitely get into that much more. But yeah, I think it's time for them to part ways. Eli had a great career.
Yeah, he had a great career, best Giants quarterback in history by far.
And anybody that could beat Tom Brady in two big Super Bowls like that, they really got my respect. Fuck Tom Brady.
Yeah, Tom Brady. What a guy. He was tight. We'll get into that, though.
We'll get into it.
What about your Jets? I know you guys took the L, but Sam Darnold, I heard, looked great.
We took the L, but I am, as Skip would say about his Dallas Cowboys, I am so proud of my Sam Darnold. He stuck in there against two of the best pass rushers in the NFL, J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Clowney, with no pass protection at all. This guy looked like Eli Manning in the Super Bowl when they had guys tugging out his jersey, escaping the pocket, high stepping J.J. Watt to avoid the sack. He looked really good. His best receiver wasn't playing, but the Jets, their defense just has to play better. Jamal Adams, he's great. He's really their only defensive player that I could trust. Leonard Williams is having an awful year. But yeah, if the Jets get some competent head coach, there's some out there. Mike McCarthy and Harbaugh, get one of those guys. I think the offense will be in motion. Get a piece in the draft, be a receiver. Le'Veon Bell's out there. He wants to come to the Jets. He'll definitely be a Jet next year.
What do you say, $200 million?
Oh yeah, definitely at least $170 million.
Jesus.
Probably up in near that $200 million. But hey, he's an instant game changer, and we'll definitely be better with him. But yeah, I think our future is looking good with Sam Darnold.
I think both New York football teams' future's looking bright. I don't know, the Giants had a really dominant defense in 2016, but obviously that was the line. I think you're going to trade Vernon this offseason, maybe Jenkins too, although I think Jackrabbit has had a pretty good year, actually. He's looked better than he did last year. Well, everything's looked better. I mean, even this season was definitely a step up from last year. I think Sherman, he shows signs of good and bad at times, but let's get into the Pats and Steelers.
Yeah, what a game.
What a game. Wow. Big Ben, he was heaving it. Woo. He looked great.
I think that the Steelers definitely outplayed the Patriots. The score should not have been that close. The Patriots had that one easy touchdown with
the third play.
The third play of the game with Hogan was just there was not a guy in acres from him. He was wide open, just walked his way into the end zone. And the Patriots, they really don't look the same.
No, I'm saying it. They do not have that same intimidation. My team doesn't play them very often, but whenever I'm watching, I'm like, oh, here we go again. And even when Brady was driving down the field, I was like, I don't think he's going to do it. And, whoa, did you see when he rolled out and instead of throwing that pass away, he didn't get it out, he threw that pick?
Yeah.
Ooh, you don't see him do that. That was a bad mistake.
He's looking like he's throwing ducks like Peyton was in the Super Bowl in his last year. Just not looking the same. And
he doesn't have that Bronco defense.
This stat was crazy at the end of the game. I don't know if it was Jim Nantz or Tony Romo who said it. This was the first time the Patriots lost 2 December games in a row since 2002. So the Patriots are always great at the end of the year. That's when they show that they're the best. This year, not so much.
Yeah, like you were saying last week, when they have a heartbreaking loss like they did against Miami, that's usually the next week they come out and kill it, and they didn't. And regardless, even if they went out 11-5, I still don't think that's what the Patriots have in mind coming into a season.
Yeah, it's going to be a rare sight because they're definitely going to be playing in the wild card round against the whoever it's going to be. It's not set in stone yet, but they're definitely not getting the top two seeds, in my opinion. Yeah,
have they ever won the Super Bowl? Not getting a first round bye. Do you know that? Do you know if that?
Did they have Did they have a first round bye with when in Brady's first year when they won it?
Yeah. See, I don't know that. I don't think they did.
Yeah,
Because they were the underdogs in that Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, they were going against Kurt Warner and Falk. So yeah, I don't know. It might have. I'm not sure.
It might have been, but usually I don't know. We'll see. No way. I think they'll whatever games they play at Gillette. I think they'll win, but because they're undefeated at home. But I don't know on the road. I don't think they can go in and beat Mahomes. We'll get into the Chiefs-Chargers game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they can go in and beat the Chargers on the road, and I don't know, maybe in the Steelers they'll be able to get some redemption, but I don't know, we'll see, especially if the Steelers get, what's his name, Connor back.
Yeah, that's going to be huge for them. That they didn't even have Connor playing that game, James Conner. That's going to be a huge addition for him to be back there in the playoffs.
Yeah, but I don't know, I feel like if the Steelers don't win the Super Bowl, everyone's going to be like, well, what if they paid Le'Veon Bell?
James Conner's having a really good year.
He is. They said it's like, before he got hurt, it was like better than Le'Veon last season.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's going to be, that's what people are going to be saying. And it's one of those things that you don't really know unless it actually happens. So there's really no way of actually knowing.
All right. So, Chiefs-Chargers. I had this topic written like, Chiefs, are they the AFC favorites? And 4 minutes left, they're up by 14. I write that. And then 4 minutes later, I have this Chiefs-Chargers. Wow, what Phillip Rivers. I was talking hella shit about him the whole game. He's trash. He's nothing. And then he came out and he played well and he was clutch.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers for the second time this year in a primetime game, coming back from a multi point from 14 plus point deficit in the fourth quarter. Guy's a man so far this year.
I think it's back-to-back games.
Yeah, he's definitely coming up clutch this year. Not what he's shown in the past. Maybe it's because of this ninth kid on the way. I'm kidding. His ninth kid, maybe that could be the good luck charm. But Phillip Rivers has had brilliant regular seasons throughout his career. He's just, I'm not taking anything away from him, but he's got to do something in the playoffs to prove it. Yeah, and most importantly, though, they haven't had Melvin Gordon. Once he comes back for the playoffs,
that's true.
You got to watch out for this team. I think they're the team to beat. I think this is the only team that can be the Chiefs, and I think they will. Yeah. So are you saying Chargers are your pick for the AFC? Chargers are my pick for the AFC, and for my pick for the NFC. We haven't really been talking about them, but the Bears. The Bears,
my only problem with them, they have the best defense in the NFL by far.
By far,
but
great run.
The only thing is, can they score enough? That's just my question with them.
I think when it comes down to it, I think Mitch Trubisky, I think he could get it done.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback.
He's great at escaping the pocket. They have a good running game with Howard, and I think that's my team for the NFC.
Bears Chargers, that'd be great because that'd just be something so different.
So different, yeah. And Aaron Rodgers, dude.
Oof.
Oh my.
Man, he is not looking like the bad man we know him to be. Do you think he's given up? Do you think it's effort, or do you think he's just having his worst year? Yeah, there's this one play. He has this hurt knee. Of course, we got to mention that. But there's one where he slid on that hurt knee, and he just got up and he was just shaking his head. And as a player, that's like you don't want to see that because it's just like he's just like ugh. Like, he just really seems like he doesn't want to be there. Yeah, like that. I think he wants out of Green Bay.
You think so?
I don't know. He's not playing like he wants to be there. So either he doesn't want to play with the coaches or the players that he's with, or he wants out. But he just signed that monster contract, so I think he's pretty screwed if he wants that. Do you think they'd ever be willing to trade him? I don't know. I mean, like, if he wants it that badly, they might, but I don't think they will. He's one of the best quarterbacks ever, so. But he's only got one Super Bowl. That's the only thing with him. Would you trade Saquon for him?
Oh, would you trade Saquon for him? Because like
I don't think so.
you got OBJ, Shepard.
That's true, but what running game? You need a running game, and Saquon Barkley is the best running back that the Giants have had since Tiki Barber.
This is gonna sound like bad, but like obviously I can't. But you could find a good offensive line, which you could build with the draft or with free. You could find a really good running back like off the streets. I think anybody could. I mean, of course it's super hard. I shouldn't say anybody, but I think like there's a lot of guys that are capable to fill in as a great running back.
Yeah, and I just think what Saquon has done this year, it's just, I don't know, he's just been incredible. I can't see that happening.
Yeah, that probably most likely won't happen. This topic right here.
How about them Cowboys?
Reed makes we do a PowerPoint and as we have like notes. Reed put as one of the notes, make fun of the Cowboys. So would you like to start making fun of the Cowboys?
Oh yes, I would. I mean, nothing hurts my heart more than the Giants being shut out, but boy did that make my day that the Cowboys got shut out.
First time was that since 2002? First time they got shut out?
Really? Yeah, I think it was that. It was like one of the longest streaks in the NFL. And leave it up to Dak to mess that up.
Dak has to be one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. Oh my God, they were chanting. They were so happy. They were telling Tony Romo, nah, 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 hey. And then Dak Prescott sucks.
He sucks. He's trash. The only reason they have a good record is because they have got Amari Cooper, who has been a great receiver since he was with Alabama. They have they have the best offensive line in the league.
And
Zeke, who is the second best running back in the NFC East.
Okay.
That's a little far. I'd say they're pretty even right now.
The Colts shut him down.
Dude, the Colts are good.
Colts are very good. When the Jets beat up on them, I forget what week it is, but the Jets really gave it to them. I thought they were done after that, but Andrew Luck, he makes plays, great thrower, and he's always has multi touchdown games, and he's looking like his old self.
Yeah, no, he's looking like his old self, maybe even better. He's it's so happy. I'm so happy to see him succeed because what he went through. What was it? 2 or 3 seasons he missed.
It was like 2.5. It was like 1.5.
1.5. Okay. It's good to see him because he definitely is one of the better quarterbacks in the league, and as Max Kellerman said, he's an MVP candidate.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's a great guy too. Great personality. And yeah, he's a type of guy that a lot of people root for, and I'm definitely rooting for him too.
Yeah, me too. Andrew Luck, very likable guy, really nice guy too.
So I think it's safe to say now, though, that the Browns are the new America's team.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, they're the most likable team right now. How can you not like them? I mean, it's a great story. What are they, 6-7 now? And 1?
Yeah, 6-7-1. Mathematically, they're still alive.
Yeah, they're still alive. Mathematically, they're better than the Packers.
for Browns fans, mathematically alive in December with 2 weeks left, that's got to be like the playoffs for them, right?
It definitely has to be. It has to make them feel good about the future. Baker, he's been incredible. I think he officially has moved on from being the next Johnny Manziel. I don't think Johnny Manziel ever even won 6 games in his career.
Oh, no. Yeah, Baker, he didn't have his best game.
No, but he got it done.
Yeah, he got it done. He's definitely a leader of that team. He has so much swagger, and when they beat the Jets week 4, was it? Or week
3 or 4.
Yeah, early in the season, when he came off the bench to replace Tyrod.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't week 2.
It wasn't?
But yeah, he's definitely a leader. And I hated him when he beat the Jets, but now I'm just like, damn, he just has so much swagger, and the guys around him definitely want to win for him. And Hugh Jackson, their new coach, already has more wins than Hugh Jackson ever has had.
Yeah, he's got 4 wins, and Hugh Jackson couldn't even do that in 40 games. So
yeah,
I don't know, but Baker, I think he's a good guy too. He's just. He's a credible player, and I think they definitely found their guy after all these years.
Yeah. I'm happy for them.
Yeah, no, happy for them. Happy for the fans in Cleveland. Now they got two teams that are well. Although the Indians seem like they're gonna their windows. I think their window's closed. I don't think they're gonna be able to win a Super Bowl. I mean, not a Super Bowl, a World Series.
Yeah, did you hear that? That debate is Baker the new LeBron James. Why I hate LeBron James. I know we don't talk about basketball at all, but like ESPN makes everything about LeBron James, and it just makes me so mad.
I don't know. I mean, that's the only reason I could ever watch basketball, is this LeBron makes it interesting. But yeah, everything on ESPN is LeBron.
Oh yeah, we don't talk about hockey either, but ESPN.
Yeah, we'll get into it later into the year.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like Skip Bayless said, maybe it's just like he said about Johnny Football. What was he? He was like, I am predicting that Johnny Football will be bigger name in Cleveland than LeBron James himself.
Yeah, maybe he meant to say Baker Mayfield and was a couple years early.
Yeah, a couple years early, 2014.
Mm-hmm.
So what about the Eagles? Are they alive?
With Big Dick Nick, I don't think you could ever say die with the Eagles.
If Nick Foles somehow leads them to the playoffs and they go on some type of run and get close to the Super Bowl, where's Wentz playing? Is he just riding the bench next year?
Oh, even if they win the last two games, even if they don't make it to the playoffs, because I think they do need some help, I think there's no way that you could sit Nick Foles. I think going into the season, I felt like that Nick Foles was the better quarterback. He's definitely clutch. And Wentz just dumps the ball to Ertz every play. Foles was throwing the ball down the field to Jeffries.
He's got way better downfield accuracy for sure.
Yeah, and the play and the head coach. What's the head coach's name?
Doug Peterson.
Doug Peterson. It slipped my mind. He just makes much better play calls with Nick Foles as head coach, as a quarterback.
Yeah, no, definitely. They're contenders. They're still in it. The Super Bowl champs. You're never out of it till you have that E next to your name. So you always have to respect them until they're out.
It was like that. It's like that that year when the Red Sox blew it and the Rays won the division.
Oh, what a year! I mean, we gave that to them, and I think that kind of messed us up in the playoffs because I think we lost in 5 to the Tigers after that. And that was kind of the start of the decline of the core 4.
Yeah.
Just go back to baseball. My fan base is just pissing me off. Just like they're acting like, oh, they're so bad. I'm like, did you watch the Yankees 2013 to 2016? You're gonna tell me this team hasn't improved ever since then? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I want to win now, of course, but this team has just been on the rise since, like, A-Rod, Teixeira, McCann, they all left.
Yeah. You watching this Saints-Panthers game right now?
I'm in my room right now, but I was watching Drew Brees and Cam Newton make a couple bad decisions before we started this.
Yeah, low scoring, 12-9 right now. 12-9 right now, Saints. Both quarterbacks.
Score.
Yeah, both offenses not clicking so far. Of course, the Panthers were having a 7-game losing streak, but it's really weird to see the Saints not moving the ball down the field.
Yeah, it seems like Drew Brees is kind of fallen off a little bit the past few weeks.
Oh, I don't.
Not falling off. I don't mean it like that, off. But he hasn't been playing at the level he was all season.
Yeah, but they definitely got their playoff bye, so I think they're just kind of like coasting to it, which you shouldn't really do. But I think the Saints, for Drew Brees for a while, for at least the next 5 years, I think he's still going to be dominating. He's got to go down as one of the best quarterbacks.
Oh, of course, yeah, of course.
Oh,
no doubt about that. I just think not that he was going down with this little stretch. I think it might have cost him the MVP. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah. But yeah, do you think he'll ever win a Super Bowl again, Drew Brees?
I think he can win one this year.
Definitely.
I mean,
not if the Bears have something to say about it.
Yeah, no, that's true. The Bears. I don't know. Francesca thinks that the Rams have really lost their way.
But I don't think so.
They had 2 bad games.
Yeah, they'll be fine. But I think that back to the Saints, their dome. I think there's something in that grass. Like they just run 1,000 times. Any team that plays there, they just I don't know. It just seems like their speed is.
I completely agree. Do you remember that Giants Saints game, 3 or 4 years ago, where Eli and Breeze just went off? I think Breeze had 6 touchdowns. Eli had 5. They each had 450 yards.
Yeah. After this point, I think we should wrap it up because we're just talking about nothing. But I think all NFL fields should have to be grass because I think the turf really makes everybody 10 times faster.
Yeah, no, for sure. But all right, guys, thank you for listening. This is definitely our longest podcast. So anything more you'd like to add, Cross, about the stuff?
Follow us on Twitter.
Yep, follow us on Twitter at TwoSidesNY is me, at Metsman19 is Cross. Next week, obviously NFL Week 16. We might do playoff predictions. Probably we'll wait till Week 17. Hopefully on next Monday, I'm going to be jumping up and down that Manny Machado is a Yankee. Maybe another move. Ottavino, one of those guys. I mean, the bullpen is still good. You still got Green. You still got Betances, Chapman, but you add 1 or 2 more guys, and I think things are looking good. But thank you for listening, guys, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you, guys.